Hello, and welcome to this ultimate beginner's guide for C# programming in Unity. My name is Yamikani, and I'll be your what we call it. Just call me a neighborly friend, spider program. Alright, so as beginners, the biggest problem that I've noticed that we face when you start out like programming for video games is usually when you start watching those beginner tutorials, right? And quite right, they'll teach you how to make a game, but you won't really know what's happening. You just copy the code and paste it in your IDE and in your project. You don't really know what a variable is if you're an absolute beginner with no knowledge. And let me put that out there. This tutorial is for people with zero knowledge of programming. So if you got knowledge about programming just a little bit, get out of here. Get out of here. It's not for you, bro. Nah, just kidding. You can stick around. Okay, so I'm going to start by telling you what a script is, alright? So here I've already created a script according to tutorial script, and I have an empty game object here which I'm calling the tutorial. So the script is simply a component that you attach to a game object to control its behavior, right? So I just attached that tutorial script, and I've already opened that up in mono-developed. It doesn't matter what IDE you're using. I'm using Unity 2017.2, so more develop is still supported, but I suggest you use Visual Studio since more develop is deprecated in Unity 2018. So alright, let's get into it. Variables. So C# is an object-oriented programming, so you're gonna hear a lot about methods and functions. I'm sure you've seen that in other tutorials, but here I want to talk to you first of all about variables. So a variable is a section of your computer memory that will hold any information that you put in it, right? So think of it as a container. Sometimes it'll have stuff, sometimes it won't, but it will keep track of the data that you stored in it and the value of that data, including the type of the data during runtime of your game while you're running your game. So you could also think of a variable as a placeholder or a substitute for the actual information that you want to use. So I'm gonna write a little script. Alright, now we're gonna get into a little bit of code here. So what you want to do is, alright, first of all we want to declare a variable. So the way you declare a variable, it goes something like this. You start with the data type. Then you name your variable, right? So we can say my number. Oh, my bad. So you can start with my number, right? That will be the name of your variable, and the value that it will store could be 8. All right, and then semicolon, so we get rid of any unwanted errors. So this here is they're actually 4 inbuilt variables. All right, member variables. And these are integer, like the one I've used here. So an integer is it's just a simple integer, like from 1 to infinity, 1 2 3 4 5 going up. Then you have a float. A float is a number with a decimal on it. All right, so I could give an example of a float. Would be float, why do I keep making mistakes? Float your number, right? Let's call it your number. Your number is equal to 5.0, and we'll put an F at the end to show that it is a float. Alright, but we're not going to go into that right now. Then we have strings as well. A string is simply characters inside of quotation marks. Then we also have booleans. Booleans are simply, or as Unity will call them, we call them like, bool. A boolean is a true or false. It chooses between a statement that is true or a statement that is false. Alright, so let's go back to writing our code. So this one right now is private because I haven't declared it to be public, so you can't see it in the inspector in Unity. So let's add a public, make it public so we can see it in Unity. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to write our code inside of our void start method. Alright, so the void start method will show basically this runs at runtime. And all right, let's just we'll get into that some other time. I don't want to get into too much detail right now. I want to keep it simple, so we could go debug, debug dot log. So what we're using debug dot log for is simply to show the output of our code in the console. All right, so the output in the console will be shown by these two strings I'm about to put, these two lines of code, sorry. So we go. I'm trying to go slow here for those guys that are just starting out. But if you're like an expert, I told you before, get out of here, bro. Alright, so now look at what I'm about to do. Alright, look at what I'm about to do. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so here, what's gonna happen here is I'm substituting 8 here, right? And in fact, let's make this 9. Let's make this 9 just to make things interesting. So here, my integer is equal to 9, right? So this here means that it's 7 plus my number, right? My number, which is my number is storing the data type or the value, the data type of an integer and the value of 9. So if we save this, let's compile it and see what it gives us in Unity, and if we get an output out of it. So my computer a little bit slow, guys. So yeah, let's wait for this to compile here, and then the moment that it's done. So another thing I want to mention is that the variables that I mentioned are actually member variables, like the ones that are here at the top here. This is a member variable, and we also have local variables. But local variables are simply a type of variable declared by local declaration at the beginning of the block of code, you know, to which it belongs. So this is used in for statements and switch statements, stuff like that, but we'll talk about that some other time. Alright, so now let's go to our console. Alright, so we go to our console, right? So what we want to do is we want to press play. Sorry guys, sorry, bear with me. I have to change my computer for a minute. It's a potato, guys. It's a potato. What can I say? So what we want to declare now is what you should see here is there we go. So you see here down here in our inspector, it's now showing debug dot log. The first one says it's 15 and the next one says it's 16. Now what is this? What just happened? So this one here, 8 plus 7 is the 15 that we're getting, and now 7 plus my number being 9 is the 16 that we're getting, guys. Alright guys, that's all the time I had today. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next episode. Yent, I'm out.